round brush. It's from Barcelona, Spain. Look at that. Synthetico. So it implies that it's synthetic hairs, but they sure feel like some real hairs in there. I don't know if it's sable or not, but we're gonna try it out. Let's see. I've dampened my sponge, squeezing it out, putting it over here. Make sure my brush is good and wet. I've got my painting rag over here, and I'm gonna mix a little puddle of color over here. I guess I'm just gonna grab some of this Viridian. And maybe a little of this Hansa yellow, a cool yellow, making a nice little puddle. Oh, I didn't get my scratch sheet, did I? I usually try this out with scratch paper first. Make sure I like the mix and like the saturation level of the paint solution. But I'm really trying to make a liquid puddle here. That's awfully bright, almost artificial looking. I'm trying to make a natural leaf, so I'm going to add a little warmer yellow. It's even got some orange spilled in it. But I think that will help. I'm going to make my shape. Okay, not sure what I think of the color. Don't feel like my brush was wet enough, so I'll try. That's kind of a nice warm green. Let me see what this looks like over here. I'm using Arches 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. Doesn't matter really which side of the paper I'm painting on. And I've put down what I kind of think is a 20-30% saturation level of this green that I've mixed over here. And I was using Viridian green and some Hansa yellow, a cooler yellow, and then I put in a little cadmium yellow too, kind of a polluted cadmium yellow over here with some other colors. Got spilled into it last night when I was in the car. Bamboo shape with this brush. Lifting and twisting as I go and making a little S hook there. Fish hook, that's what I'm trying to say. Fish hook with the light mixture of this green. Now I'm going to change up the green quite a bit. Get some more of this Viridian. Viridian is a sedimentary color, which means it's not a staining green. It's a more washable green. So if you screw up with Viridian, you can usually wash it away with some water. So it's good for your clothes. It's good for mistakes. And Viridian doesn't look so great by itself, but it sure plays well with the other colors. It's a good mixer as long as you stir up all those granular pigment particles, all those blue-green particles that are in Viridian. Okay, that's a darker value, but I need a darker value than that even, so, because I'm going to do some sculpting here with value and color. I've never done this with this brush before, so this is a first. Let's see, I'm going to go in, dip into some alizarin crimson over here to darken the value, going across the color wheel a little bit. So I'm keeping the basic local color in the mix, but I'm adding to the mix to change it up, make it darker, but I still want it to have a green identity. I don't want it to change colors completely. I'm going to be trying to paint the shadow side of the leaf here. Oh, if I had some scratch paper, I would test it out. Add a little more water to make it a little more liquid, a little juicier. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I was trying for the underside of the leaf for a little 3D effect here, and you'll find that the color change, and there is a value change. I did try to make it darker, but I also changed up the color a little bit because it's the part of the leaf that's not getting a direct blast of sunlight or direct light over it. And it's kind of a fool the eye sort of thing. But you need the right color change to make it convincing. You need it to be decisively darker, but not too dark. It has to look natural. Let me try this one here. But do you think that's a good color for this light side of the leaf? Are they a good pair? So it's sort of a two-step. Quick stroke, a little bit goes a long way. I'm using the weight of the brush too. I'm not using it like a pencil. I'm pushing down when I need to, and I've got to have it soaking wet with the solution, and then not out of control wet though, so I'm touching it to the damp sponge for that. Let's try to do this one here. Get a nice sharp point on the brush. Okay. Overworked it. Sometimes happens. We're going for that illusion of the brush curling down, and we're looking at the underneath side, which should be all in shadow. There you go. There's the shadow. So with one color change, which is also a value change, isn't it? Value being the relative lightness or darkness or something. Depends, it's the value change depends what the other color is, right? But it's also a color change, and just that two-note structure kind of magically gives us that feeling of 3D. And it's because we're incorporating a light source, an imagined light source into the image, and we're changing color. If the light's coming from the blue sky or from the sun, it's going to affect the color of the form shadow underneath, this part that's not getting the light. So we had to mix that with the right color. We had to kind of work it. And I should have had a sheet of scratch paper over here so I could have played around with the color. And you can sort of feel it in your tummy almost when you have the right value note, the right change, the right new color that you're going to use for the other side of the leaf. Yeah, I think that was a good little practice exercise. I kind of like my new brush. It's kind of big and generous and bold. Yeah, size 14.